Today is February the 20th. Today, don't get mad. So we're working our way through the Sermon on the Mount. We're going to read the first example that Jesus gives of how he actually fulfills the Old Testament law. We're going to read in Matthew 5:21 to 26. You've heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you, if you are angry with a brother or sister, you'll be liable to judgment. If you insult a brother or sister, you'll be liable to the council. If you say, you fool, you'll be liable to the hell of fire. So when you're offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar. Go, first be reconciled to your brother or sister, then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you're on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you'll be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you'll never get out until you've paid the last penny. Now, Jesus goes straight to the Ten Commandments. That would be sort of the core of the Old Testament law. The fifth commandment is don't murder. Jesus says, yeah, I get that. But if we go internally, murder actually starts well before the actual act. Murder starts in the heart as anger. So I say to you, don't get angry. Now, as we look at the Old Testament has quite a few references to anger. When it talks about the anger of man, one of the main books that speaks to anger is the book of Esther. In the book of Esther, Esther chapter 1, verse 12, the king Artaxerxes asked Vashti to do something at best inappropriate, at worst actually lewd. Vashti refuses, and the king is filled with anger. Esther 3:5, Haman, who is the vizier of Artaxerxes, commands that people bow down when he comes before them. Mordecai refuses to bow down. Haman is filled with anger at Mordecai. Later on, chapter 5, verse 9, Haman again is filled with anger. Chapter 7, verse 7, King Artaxerxes is filled with anger at Haman. Every time anger is mentioned, rage is mentioned in the book of Esther, it leads to something bad. That's what Jesus is saying too. Tell you what, let's read Proverbs 15. Look at the way Proverbs speaks out against anger and for peacefully reconciling with your brother.
A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouths of fools pour out folly. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. The fool despises a parent's instruction, but the one who heeds admonition is prudent. In the house of the righteous there is much treasure, but trouble befalls the income of the wicked. The lips of the wise speak knowledge, not so in the minds of fools. The sacrifice of the wicked is admonition to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The ways of the wicked is admonition to the Lord, but he loves the one who pursues righteousness. There is severe discipline for the one who forsakes the way. One who hates a rebuke will die. Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord. How much more human hearts? Scoffers do not like to be rebuked. They will not go to the wise. A glad heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. The mind of the one who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouths of fools feed on folly. All the days of the Lord are hard, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it. Better is a dinner of vegetables where love is than a fattened ox and hatred with it. Those who are hot-tempered stir up strife, but those who are slow to anger calm contention. The way of the lazy is overgrown with thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. A wise child makes a glad father, but the foolish despise their mothers. Folly is a joy to one who has no sense, but a person of understanding walks straight ahead. Without counsel, plans go wrong, but with many advisers they succeed. To make an apt answer is a joy to anyone, and a word in season, how good it is. For the wise, the path of life leads upward, in order to avoid Sheol below. The Lord tears down the house of the proud, but maintains the widow's boundaries. Evil plans are an abomination to the Lord, but gracious words are pure. Those greedy for unjust gain make trouble for their households, but those who hate bribes will live. The mind of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and good news refreshes the body. The ear that heeds wholesome admonition will lodge among the wise. Those who ignore instruction despise themselves, but those who heed admonition gain understanding. The fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility goes before honor.
So did you pick up those references? The very first verse, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And then again in verse 18, those who are hot-tempered stir up strife, but those who are slow to anger calm contention. All the way through the Old Testament, this is a common theme. Speak peacefully, bring peace into your situation, not anger. Jesus simply says, murder starts internally. It starts with anger. So nip it in the bud. Don't get mad. So what do we do today? You know, it's hard to not get angry, isn't it? Confess your anger to the Lord. Ask Him to help you. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. On a weekly basis, New Hope Church uploads its sermon from the previous Sunday to our YouTube channel. You can find that at our YouTube channel, New Hope Church Greenwood IN, or our podcast channels, 888-HOPE.